Ryan, how do you think Ryan's doing right now?
Yeah, he's a little lost. I think he needs some good advice. I strongly feel that, some advice where somebody has been there, who has done that, who has all the answers. I've talked to Ryan, and every single time I talk to him, he's with it. He's a nice guy. He says all the right things. He wants to fight the big fights. He says he's focused on boxing. But then I go to social media, and then everything just is different. Everything he is just, he's a loose cannon. It's crazy.
Who's in his ear? Who do you have in his ear that you think is a good influence to him?
I don't think he has good influences at the moment. Yeah.
When you were his age, do you see any similarities or not at the level he's going?
I think it's totally different. Social media has changed everything, for everybody. It's like social media, it's its own world, and he believes that world, and real life is different. And so I grew up in different times and different eras, and my mentality is just different. So I was more in tune with reality, so to speak,
than where he's at right now.
So
him being suspended for the whole, the PED that he had, Devin Haney, they take the loss away.
And by the way, that was so unfair that the WBC, I guess, banned him for life from fighting for a world title.
I thought it was 1 year.
I believe it's for life.
WBC banned him
the 1 year ban was for the controlled substance from boxing for 1 year after the Devin Haney fight. But the WBC, I believe, banned him for life, keeping him from fighting for that world title.
Yeah. So has it happened before? Was it because of the drugs, or was it because of the comments he made?
I think it was a little of everything. Yeah. I mean, obviously getting suspended for the PEDs and allegedly, and the comments he made afterwards. His behavior is it's out there, and nobody can control him but himself. So I literally hope that he does get the help he needs. Because he is a good kid. I know he's not racist. I know he's not 1,000%. He is a good kid. He's it's the perfect example of too young and too much money, quickly.
By the way, when that happens with a fight, does he get paid for the fight or no? Like the Haney fight, does he lose all the money for the fight?
No, he gets paid for the fight.
He still gets paid for the full
There's
fight.
A fine that you must pay back. But he gets most of his purse.
So do you think he'll be back in the ring fighting again for a championship, or no, this is done for him?
I believe he will. I believe he will. I believe Ryan Garcia will change his life for the better. I really do. I really think that this was, people say you have to touch the ground in order to lift yourself back up and become stronger and better. And I think that's what will happen with Ryan.
Yeah, I'm hopeful as well. When you're going through it, you're hoping you got the right people in your ear that you're at least listening to while you're going through it. Because nowadays, how different would your life have been while you're coming up if there was social media? So imagine if the 19 to 23-year-old De La Hoya, you're doing what you're doing, and at social, everyday DMs, girls, all this stuff.
Yeah.
How different would you?
It would have been a disaster. It really would. I mean, I'm lucky I survived what I went through, because I hit rock bottom not once, but several times. I had so many people trying to take me down, corporate people who have Harvard degrees, people who just wanted to see Golden Boy sink. I had that left and right. And how I survived it, sometimes I ask myself, you know what? I was going up against guys who have all these degrees, and they just couldn't take me down for a reason. And that reason is, again, it could be that angel, that shoulder, that I was talking about my mom, but it could also be, that I learned along the way. I got scarred early on, in business, in life, but I learned, I picked myself up. I was able to pick myself. A lot of people don't survive this. And so I'm just very fortunate that I'm able to give advice to these young kids who want it. I'm a phone call away. Ryan, please call me. I'm here.
When was the last time you guys spoke?
We speak quite frequently, but it's been a second, and he's been off social media for a while now. I don't know if you've noticed. Yeah, he's been off social media, which is great. So I'm really hoping he's getting the help.
We're on the same page because the time I've spent with him, he gives me the vibe of a guy that is going through the phase of trying to be famous, girls, partying, all that stuff. But he's got a side to him that's conservative. You know, the attention, do I lose it? Do I go through the Jake Paul route of making money? Do I really need boxing? Who cares about boxing? Let me just go, because the question I asked him is there any pride you have to go down as one of the greatest Mexican-American boxers of all time? Do you want that? Do you want that kind of love and accolade? Or is it just the money? Because the model today with what Jake Paul is doing is out there. And he could be a guy that could go and say, hey, I want to fight Conor. I would beat up Conor. You heard some of the comments he made about Conor. If he fought Conor. He said he wants to fight Conor bare knuckles or Sean O'Malley and all this stuff. And who knows? Maybe that pays better than boxing. And if it does, you may lose some of these younger guys that may leave the boxing world. Hopefully not. We'll see what happens.
Well, in the history of the sport, if you take a look at where the most money has been generated in any contact sport, it's always boxing. There's a reason why McGregor fought Mayweather inside a boxing ring. There's a reason why Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather shattered records, historical records. And I think it'll always, there's something about boxing that people love. Mano a mano. I mean, you were there at the Mayweather fight, De La Hoya. The electricity in the air is like nothing else. I've been to Super Bowls. I've been to NBA championships. There's nothing like a championship fight.
It's something very weird. Last question, and we'll wrap up. In these uncertain times, if there's anything we need people to believe the future looks bright. So if you've heard about me saying this mission to you, we're on a mission to get 1 million people to wear this gear, and this is what we're doing. If you buy one of these hats, there's a category of buying one hat, getting the second one free. If you haven't yet worn this gear publicly, go ahead and test it out. Buy some of the gear, wear it in public, and see how many people will stop by and say, you also watch Valuetainment? You also follow PBD Podcast? I do too. Place your order. Go to vtmerch.com, click on the link above or below, place your order, and represent the VT and the PBD Podcast gear.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.